Hello, everyone. Welcome. This evening, we're talking about our concert number 3, which will occur on August 6th and 7th, Thursday and Friday. We begin this evening's concert with a Baroque gem, Vivaldi's Concerto for Bassoon and Strings in G major. Antonio Vivaldi was a remarkable man. He was an ordained priest, a violinist, a teacher of music, and a composer. And by the way, his compositions were greatly admired by J.S. Bach, which is quite a high compliment, I think. We might think that a Baroque concerto for bassoon is an unusual piece, but actually that's not the case. The bassoon was a very popular instrument at the time. In all of his compositions, Vivaldi put into, in particular in his fast movements, an absolute cascade of musical ideas, the kind of virtuosity that had never been heard before. In his slow movements, the composer drew inspiration from many of the heartfelt and emotional opera arias that he had written, as well as from poetry and literature, and in some cases even from his own dreams. He had a passionate temperament that he put to use to music, and he really threw himself into it. A mania, in fact, for composing. In fact, how many concerti did he write? Oh, just 550, just concerti, just for solo instruments. Amazing. For most of his career, Vivaldi was employed at the Ospedale della Pietà in Venice, first as a violin instructor, then later as the head of all music, where part of his requirement was to write pieces that would showcase the orchestra. And who were these orchestra members? Well, this is fascinating. The Ospedale was a wonderful institution in Venice, a home for orphaned and abandoned children. And that was their sole purpose, to take in children and teach them either a trade in the case of boys, or a trade for the women, embroidery and deportation, all that kind of things. And, or in the case of a few lucky girls, only girls, mind you, that showed musical promise, musical aptitude, to educate them thoroughly in the highest musical training available at that time. So much of Vivaldi's music was played by this elite orchestra of women and girls at the highest standards of musicianship, who played their concerts behind grill work in the galleries, very mysterious, so they could barely be seen. This orchestra was the toast of all Europe. And it became actually a way for the Ospedale to make enough money to continue its charitable work. So it was definitely a win-win. We don't know the name of the musician who premiered this bassoon concerto, but we do know that she must have been an absolutely stellar bassoonist, because this concerto makes astonishing demands on the soloist. And what a pleasure to hear the beauty of the Classical Tahoe Musicians weaving in and out of the fabric of this piece with soloist Harrison Hollingsworth. The piece is presented in 3 movements. Movement 1 is a sparkling dance that's shared between the bassoon and strings. Very entertaining. Movement 2, a slow movement, and the strings kind of stroke a musical line over and over and over, and the bassoon line winds in and out as if it was a smoke curl that is going up into the heavens. It really tugs at your heartstrings, this movement. Movement number 3, furioso, stormy music, running, splashing in rain puddles. Really, the bassoon raining notes on the audience at a rapid pace. What do I see in my mind's eye when I hear this movement? Okay, I see 2 lovers running for cover as the rain starts. They're holding their coats over their heads. They run and run, and they find a perfect tree. They're sheltered under the tree, and they embrace in the shelter of the boughs. That's what I see. So I'll look forward to hearing what you see in your mind's eye as you hear this extraordinary performance. Thank you.